Reece spent yet another cold shower wondering how to fix things with Trinity. He tried the simple restaurant and the grand romantic gesture, complete with a moonlight picnic. He tried sincere compliments and gifts that acknowledged their shared history. What else could he do? He considered asking his mom, but she was asleep by the time Reece felt ready to talk. By morning, it was too late. His mom was mid-conversation with Trinity at the breakfast table. Reece listened as he entered the kitchen. "You're doing great with them," Lila told Trinity. "We used to have a Phi who did most of the caretaking." "A Phi?" Trinity repeated, confused. Reece spoke up while pulling out his chair. "A Phi is a babysitter for the pack, a caretaker who helps the mothers with their cubs. Our last one passed away, and no one else stepped up to take their place." "Exactly." Lila leaned over to kiss Reece on the cheek. "Morning, Reece." "Good morning, Mom." He grinned across the table to Trinity. "Good morning." She nodded and mumbled, "Good morning." Lila sighed. "Don't tell me you two are fighting again." "We're not," Reece said. "She's just... I don't know what she is." "I'm fine," Trinity insisted. "Just getting used to some whiplash." "Funny you mention that. My neck's been hurting me a lot lately." She feigned a worried expression. "Have you tried a cold shower?" "I've had plenty," he growled. His mother watched them with wide eyes. "You two want the room, or can we finish talking about how the moms are struggling?" Trinity quickly turned back to Lila. "Sorry, right. I can't believe they've been on their own this long. Until we find another Phi, maybe we should have a packed daycare. It doesn't have to be every day, but a couple of days a week will give the mothers plenty of time to do stuff kid-free." Lila clapped her hands excitedly. "So thoughtful, don't you think, Reece?" He thought it would turn his house into a jungle gym. Trinity would volunteer one of their great halls in no time. How had he gone from no one in his house to a daycare in a few short months? He answered as neutrally as he could. "I think it would be a very popular idea among the pack women." Trinity's face fell. "So you don't like the idea?" "I never said that," he backpedaled. "It's necessary, especially if the mothers are struggling." Lila clicked her tongue at him. "Then you should have said you liked it the first time." "It doesn't matter if I like it. The Luna looks after the women and children, and I never said it was a bad idea." He didn't understand why he was getting reprimanded for a non-answer. Lila told him, "But you didn't say it was a good idea either. People can't read your mind, Reece." "Here, here," Trinity said. She hoisted her orange juice in the air for a toast. It felt mortifying to explain himself to Trinity. She acted as if everything he did was an act. Reece tried again. "It's not just a physical thing. I can prove it. Tomorrow on New Year's Eve, I'll be a good boy and keep my hands to myself the whole night." For a moment, she considered it. He watched a thought flash across her face, but she stuffed it down. "I'm fine with anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I want to practice my new violin." She finished her orange juice and left him behind. He had to remind himself to be grateful. She was giving him another chance. He wouldn't let it go to waste. Reece knocked at 9 o'clock sharp the next night. Trinity opened the door all ready to go. Trinity smiled sweetly at him. He led the way over to the library. Trinity looked confused as he opened the door. He knew how much she loved the library, so he'd made it even more romantic. A candlelit table for two, far away from the books, with a roaring fire as well. The pièce de résistance was a takeout on the table. Trinity could smell it before Reece could even bring it up. "Lucky Panda's garden?" Trinity beamed. Oh, goddess, I haven't had this in months. She rushed to the table. Reece sped up to catch up with her. He managed to pull out her chair, but she wasn't trying to sit. She was too busy opening the containers. Chop suey, wonton soup, Chinese rib tips. Who told you? Reece grinned. Noah, I want to get to know you. That starts with some of your favorite foods. Her eyes sparkled. You could ask me, you know. It doesn't always have to be a surprise. He hummed. I asked you about tonight's meal, and you didn't answer. He reminded her. She nodded. You haven't always listened to what I said. I'm listening now, he promised. Her eyes still looked doubtful, so he did what he'd been avoiding his last few attempts. I'm sorry, little bunny, for what I said and how I treated you. I never should have rejected you or let my own confusion and doubts overpower our bond. That's why I want to start over. I want to do this right. Your doubts? She repeated. About me? About everything, he admitted. I'd never felt anything this strong. I had no guide and only bad experiences leading up to this. I called you weak, but you were tougher than I was to try so hard back then. Let me try now. Her face lit up as she launched into a story about their takeout selection. She started opening up to him. He returned the favor, sharing stories and answering her questions to get to know him too. There were no assumptions about what they knew already. This was new territory, and they couldn't wait to explore.
Want to know what happens next? Click on the link in the description below to watch further episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.